All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome the defending champion of the Valero Texas Open, JJ Spaun. JJ, thanks for taking a few minutes for us. Just a few comments on being back to a place that's obviously near and dear to you. Maybe take you back a year. If you could just kind of recap it a little bit and how special it was to win and be back here to defend your title.
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, my first time defending on the PGA Tour, and it's nice to be back here, very familiar place. It was strange coming here for media day back in February to be in the hotel and see the golf course, but not even have my golf clubs. So it's nice to have my golf clubs this week, and the course looks very similar. It's in great shape, and it's very reminiscent of how it was last year as far as conditions and stuff. So it looks like we have similar wind too. So it's nice to be here. I got my family again. Valero and the team here that run the tournament have been so great to us and put us up in a nice place here at the Marriott, and get to go to the water park with my daughter and spend good family time. And I think that's what this tournament provides for us players, is to kind of get a break from golf, work in a little bit of golf too, but to spend time with family and have fun activities. So with all that going on, it's nice to be here, and the game's feeling good. Had a solid performance last week at Austin for my first time there, and just trying to build on that, and excited for the week ahead.
I was going to ask about how you're feeling coming into the week. You've had, I think, 7 top 25 finishes and your top 10 last week in Austin. What are you most confident with as your part of your game as you're coming into the week?
I'm pretty confident with almost everything. Everything is pretty tight. I don't think there's one thing that stands out that it's extraordinarily better than one aspect of my game. But we'll let the flyover go. But yeah. But no, it's everything's pretty tight, and I think I'm managing my game well as far as mistakes, and I'm not making big numbers. Hopefully, knock on wood. But everything's pretty tight, and I've done a good job of, staying in my lane and sticking to my strategies where, I kind of stick to the game plan and hit fairways and hit greens. And I think the weeks where I putt well are the weeks that I, can really contend. So I think if the putter heats up a little bit this week, I'll hopefully be back where I was last year this time.
Okay. Well, you guys have a couple questions? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, last year, I think you told us that you grew up in Disneyland running around, and that was your fantasy land. How much was last year or this week then to go from there to Augusta? I mean, how much did that live up to that being a fantasy week for you?
Yeah, it was. It literally, I've heard the cliche, like the pinch me moments, and am I dreaming? And that's kind of what I felt for like the first time in my life, going from the win here and then literally like flying over the next morning to Augusta and then registering, and it just happened so fast that I felt like I was in a dream, because I was there signing the registration book at the player office at Augusta National, and I'm just like, everything's happened so fast. Like, I can't believe, not only did I just win my first tour event yesterday, but now I'm here at the Masters already, like preparing to play my first time at Augusta. So it was definitely a fantasy as far as the whole experience, but I was super happy to be there, and to also have a good week too, a good showing at Augusta, and I know what I got to do this week to get back there.
You said, Doug said, you've had a pretty successful season, but you had a little dip kind of in January, February in there. What do you attribute that to, and have you figured out whatever it was that went wrong?
Yeah, I just kind of, I got a little wrapped up in my golf swing, and like my coach has been hurt for like 4 months. He broke his pelvis in December, and so like he can't really travel. He normally travels out here every week, and he's been pretty much like bedridden, can't really walk. He's not very mobile, so I kind of got off on my swing, and then I started kind of trying to figure things out myself, because he's at home and he can't really help, but sending videos here and there, and I think I just sort of got in my own way as far as trying to perfect like my swing. And why did it change from Maui and Sony to LA and Bay Hill and those events where I was kind of just going down the rabbit hole of trying to make my swing look like how it was just a few months prior, instead of just like playing with what I had, which probably would have ended up being better for me. But I missed a couple cuts in a row, back to back sort of swings. I think on the West Coast and then in Florida, but they were all by like a shot. So it was just kind of one of those things where if I saved a shot here and there, like it would have been playing the weekend and maybe salvage a good week. But I got it figured out. Had a good week off before Austin and trying to just stay out of my own way and hit good shots. And I think I'm back to that now.
One more quick one. Is there a planned trip on Monday to Houston if that's the case? Watch the Aztecs in the national championship game?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have my family, so my wife's not a big basketball fan, and neither is my 2.5-year-old daughter, and this would be 2 weeks on the road. Maybe I can kind of talk them into it, but who knows? Hopefully they make it to the final. I know they're in the Final Four, but we'll see what happens. But it's a pretty exciting time to watch them compete, just on TV in general. So if I was able to be there, that'd be great.
Sticking with the college athletics theme, Valero announced yesterday the Valero Collegiate Texas Open. The winner will get an exemption into this event moving forward. Just want to get your opinion on kind of the state of college golf and how many new opportunities are coming onto the radar for college players.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think Valero's doing a lot of positive things to grow the game and just outreach communities in general out here, and it's cool to see them kind of doing something special for the college guys, and I think that's the best way to sort of showcase, college golf, amateur golf. And I even remember back when I was at San Diego State, there was this amateur qualifier, and it was an amateur. You could be, a mid-amateur, you could be a college amateur, you could be a junior amateur. There was no age restriction, but it was a one-round tournament. I think the Century Club, I'm not sure if they still run the tournament, but they were hosting it, and the low guy at Torrey Pines South, like just this random one-day tournament, low guy got a spot in the Farmers. So I remember those, days and how nice it was to have an opportunity just to even have a chance to play, in a tour event. And so for the fact that Valero's doing that for college kids is really big. And I think it was an exciting time for me, because that was like something I would always prepare for, like the most. Okay, like this is my one shot to get into a tour event as a amateur, instead of having to do the whole Monday qualifying process and all that stuff. So I think it's great.
Following up on last week in Austin, another great week with shifty winds, Texas conditions. What is it about this place that you love?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just comfortable here. I like the style of golf. I like the wind. I like the challenge of creating shots. Greens in regulation are a premium, especially when it's tough conditions, and especially a place like Austin Country Club and here. And in order to do that, you got to be in the fairway most of the time. So, and that's kind of my premium, is the accuracy and greens in regulation. So, hopefully I can, keep at that this week and give myself a shot on Sunday.
JJ, how are things different teeing off potentially, here as a defending champion tomorrow versus other tournaments? Does it change your mentality at all?
Mentally, I don't think consciously I think of anything differently, but just being announced in the Pro-Am as defending champion, that felt really cool, and it felt really good, because it's, something I haven't heard in my career yet, especially on the PGA Tour. So I think there's nothing that I'm going to take away differently from being in that position. I'm just going to still go out and try to execute my game plan and see where I stand on the weekend and on Sunday. So nothing really changes, but it's nice to have kind of that target on your back, that like you're kind of the guy that is one of the favorites maybe at this event this year.
A lot of guys are in the position you were in last year, where they know if they punch their ticket to the Masters with the win here. Does that sort of change the environment around the tournament, or just the atmosphere for a player in this event, knowing it's that last chance?
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's perks to every single win, but I think this one's kind of extra special and extra meaning because it's your last chance to get into Augusta, and it's weird. Last year I wasn't even thinking about that, and I know maybe that's kind of what mentally kept me in the present and not thinking ahead and not putting too much pressure on myself. So I'll try not to think about it too much. I mean, if I play great and win, then we'll kind of go through that whole cyclone of of a mess, I guess, in a good way, of going from here straight to Augusta, and but that would be awesome. So yeah, there's definitely extra meaning for being here for your last chance to go to Augusta.
How do you size up the field for this event in general? A lot of guys have already kind of turned the page to next week. So, how do you look at the guys who are here in this group that you're going to be playing with?
Yeah, I think we still have a great group. I'm surprised that not many more players want to play the week before a major. I mean, granted there was a WGC last week, and that's a long week as it is, and people don't want to make the Masters their third week in a row. But I still think it's a great field. I mean, obviously the tour is so deep, like anyone could win this week, and not to count out any of the rookies or even the veteran guys that are playing this week. I mean, it's still up for grabs for anyone. I think that maybe there's some slight favorites, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's still 72 holes, and the guy that gets the ball in the hole the shortest amount of strokes is going to win. So, good field overall still, and I got a good group. Got Hideki and Ricky, so hopefully we'll light it up on Thursday, Friday.
All right. Well, JJ, thank you for your time. We wish you the best of luck this week.
Thanks, Doug.
Stay right